Listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. So, temperature started dropping. They did change the inclement weather forecast. I mean, cold weather doesn't bother me. I just bundle up and I wear, make sure my door's shut here. I wear shorts, in 40 degrees and it doesn't bother me. I've been inside a bit, so I'm probably not as climatized, but wouldn't take me long. So I just bundle up. I don't have all that much stuff to pack anyway. For some reason, this thing is going loud beyond where it was before. It looks like the noise gate isn't on, but I know it's on, so I'm not sure what it's doing. So one thing to understand, when somebody breaks into somebody's living space, you can't say it's this person or that person unless somebody is actually watching, I guess. What do we got going on over here? That's some crazy red and blue going on. A motorcycle. Oh, it's a funeral. I'm going to have to wait now. How long is this funeral? It doesn't look too long. Got a motorcycle cop. I don't know what it is anymore, but back in the day, and I know this sounds kind of racist, but this is generally how it worked. If for some reason black people used a white hearse, it used to be segregated hearses. I mean, really. And white people would use a black hearse. Generally, not always, but that's strange as it sounds. So when I was in the Army, we would go down to the Clarksville Fairgrounds. That's where I think they may have operated me initially. I mean, it was so early I wouldn't have known anything, but it would have altered me a little bit. Nonetheless, it all alters whether you see it or not. But we were down there, and this guy from Illinois or something. He went home and he bought his car back, a car that he purchased, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Illinois, something like that. And it was what was the year? It was it's like the Ghostbusters year of their ambulance, but it was a hearse. So he had a hearse. He purchased a hearse, and we'd drive around in the hearse. And it was actually a hearse from a African American funeral place. So he had all these funeral flyers and stuff inside of it. It's kind of gross, I guess. But you're in the Army and you're in your 20s, you don't even think about it. We used to drive down to the fairgrounds. Everybody get out of a hearse. Oh my, the lights are changing. See, this guy got the cue. It's really strange. The light was green, and he went around me to the right, which he shouldn't have done. Right? And I'm going the speed limit pretty much. But he got through the light faster than I did. It was turning yellow. So again, I made it through, but he got a cue to speed up a little bit. I guess I was 2 under the speed limit because when my speedometer says the speed limit, it's actually like 2 under. So that was really weird with the volume and what it's doing. I mean, it's more appropriate. I mean, somebody may have been hacking me. Maybe they didn't hack me now, or they hacked me before, or they hacked me now and they didn't hack me before. I don't know. What it does is it causes my headphones to go quiet. So they may be trying to do a psychological thing because I had an ear infection. And I had a pretty big scare when I was younger because my ears got tight. The job that I speak about it before, the TMJ got tight and cut off my hearing and started tinnitus. Now it let go and my hearing came back pretty well. But I still have the tinnitus. But that's them. I mean, it's all them. It's all revolves around what they're doing. So these people that break in, there's always going to be fall people, and the people that break in may be the fall people. Remember, these are spy operations. They manipulate whole cities, the psychology of an entire city, if not an entire nation. So the people might actually be just fall people. Now, the question is as to whether I actually had an infection. Because I didn't realize because I remember, like, when you're not with people, because they don't let me socialize, and nobody will socialize in the end, even if we decide to socialize, and it'll be a very short period of time. I mean, it even gets to the point where they say, this guy's a dangerous man. We recommend that you don't be around him. We need you to say a few things to him, and they just exit. And what they would say is something totally whack, where it's them, and and nobody would accept it without yelling at the person for being such an a-hole. So it's part of their cucking. They're like, it's all psychosexual for these cops and for these intelligence people and these PIs. Don't let them tell you anything else. They're very dark characters. They're worse than narcissists. They're serial killers, and they've been it their whole life. Many of them, when they were children, were psychologically manipulating people to suicide and to being raped and going out and being a quote-unquote slut. And it includes spells and witchcraft. So you never know. Even if the people did it, it doesn't mean that they're the ones that moved it. Because that's what they want. They want fall people. They always go, well, because you said something about people breaking in, that's why we're doing it. No, they broke in way before I said anything. Probably decades before I said anything. No, I've passed so many tests. I've passed and I've surpassed their execution so many times. By all rights, I should. They know people that go through these pains. They become addicted to narcotics. So when you see the increase in the addiction to narcotics and things such as that, you're seeing something similar to what I'm saying. In other words, there are people in the community that know how to do this. There's people that are assigned to do it, per se, right? So that's your psychological problem. That's your narcotics problem. So the other day I had this idea, and again, I was in discussion with God inside in certain ways, and what the good way to characterize, to describe the younger generations is they're sick of the corruption. They're sick of the harassment. They don't want to be part of it, and they will never be part of it, even if they're part of it, because they are manipulated to harass people. So again, when they found the younger generations would not harass, they created a new reason to do it. Now, they call it cancel culture. It's not really cancel culture, and 75% of cancel culture is actually run by Republicans. It's every day in your society. I mean, they're down. They're not just going after some rich guy that they gave money to that they used to employ or something like that, or a political rival. They're going after everyday people in your community. It's a mafia. So again, there's no confusion as to why Large Marge starts saying mafia things, because they are a mafia. The only question is, how much realization do they have of actually being a mafia? They know they're a mob type of thing. They know they're a secret society, quote unquote. They're low class scum, is what they are. They have money, but they're low class criminal scum. Most people that commit crimes that get arrested did it out of necessity. They don't do it out of necessity. They do it out of sheer joy of harming other people and killing other people. And of course, they haven't been arrested for it. That's why you're seeing this increase in the attack on democracy. So they have this theory that only property holders used to vote and things like that. That would work, but for one sticking point, and that's George Washington. George Washington didn't expect the United States to stay where it was. He actually recommended progressive liberality. So again, that would be open to discussion to exactly what that meant, but not what these conservatives, these Republicans, they're not really conservatives, because conservatives want to live a life where everything is smooth, where free enterprise works. So they're not really conservatives. Again, it's cronyism, and it does mirror the Soviet Union. So as far as who's breaking into what, that you might find just a local cell, but it's being propped up and manipulated and was instructed in the methods by criminal spycraft operators, possibly CIA, possibly Russian, possibly French, possibly all of them, possibly a private sector organization. Again, many of them are really KKK. They'll even use black people and people of color to go against somebody because, they're killing their freedom fighter out. And again, sometimes it's money. I mean, they do spread a lot of, they actually launder a lot of money that way because it's not an above board payment. And sometimes it is. So again, super PACs will spread money throughout our communities. And what they're doing is they're playing criminal spycraft operators to addict your children to narcotics and to kill you and your family out when somebody in their little group says, well, we want this person dead. We want this person gone. They just have to say it. You don't have to do anything. After the fact, you will say something. You will do something because, again, you're not a cuck for them in most cases. Because that's their psychosexual motivation. One of them, at least. So that is what it is. So again, who, what, when, where, and why. Again, they know law enforcement investigation, and law enforcement investigation knows them, and it only goes so far, so it does not reveal the criminal spies and secret society, KKK, Nazis, etc., that are running these cells of organized crime. Well, stay peaceful. Again, the retail theft, you notice how everything's organized crime now? Why do you think that's happening? They're paying cops. They're paying government officials. They're donating to the super PAC. And then the super PAC money comes back so that they'll effectuate the criminal enterprise work. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.